Well, I guess I didn't mean to do this morning. I was trying to take a photo, and I guess I'm doing the video instead. This is out of Larry Flint Hustler magazine back in August, excuse me, April of '84. It's an endorsement, and I was putting that little bit. I don't know if it'll go up or not, but let me just focus on this. I want to get it said. I guess I was going to put it on another social media, but since I'm on YouTube, let me go ahead. This is where he endorsed me, and I ran for U.S. Congress when the Dr. Larry McDonald I'd written about medical malpractice book in 76 to 80 when he was shot in Lawrenceville in Georgia, nearby Marietta where I was, and the person was programmed to shoot him. Now then, I'm going to fast forward. I didn't get the book published. I had a letter from the FBI, and I've quoted this so many times from U.S. Attorney William Harper. National security involved, so it's an ongoing investigation. It's been an ongoing hell. It's been nothing. I was told at Laurelwood before the antifreeze was put in me that I was going to, what was it they said? I was a walking dead woman, and I would be living in a forgotten hell. And I thought, well, I'm already in hell, so what else can you do to me? Well, they can, but the people let it happen here, because they're living good. And now I want to, I did put in the book about Center for some things about Center for Disease Control and labs getting grants and being paid, the colleges getting grants and being paid. So you can go from there. I've already put, so you can Google it. Who do you think? Well, I was telling about Center for Disease Control and Emory University, which has been in the news, and anyway, I don't know how to say it anymore because what's still being done to me is killing me, and I'm so sick at the moment, I can't stand it. Who do you think invented Ebola and AIDS? And I told this about the AIDS back in, when was it, 81? It was after the antifreeze, but I had already was doing research and anyway, for the book and everything, and I wrote about Center for Disease Control and Emory University. And you can Google it. I mean, there's Dr. Horowitz, and I've forgotten how many, that will tell you that the CDC did it, and they did. Now then, they created, that's the agency that's on TV going to solve it all. Well, the whole thing is the agencies have worked together. They have chemical, warfare, they have psychological, you name it. And they've used it on me and my kids and my country and my mom and dad, who are deceased now, if I'm not lucky and there's a better place for them and they're there. But anyway, this whole thing evolves around the United States pretending to be the good guy, coming as the savior, when actually it's the opposite. They orchestrate the takedown of countries, and then they go in and pretend to save it. And, you know, I'm afraid to even talk so that somebody can hear me outside my apartment. If it's an American, they'll do anything in the book to you, and they have to me, believe me. They do not want the truth, even though it's staring them in the face. But anyway, this whole thing centers around everybody's going to the Center for Disease Control now for advice and calling them. They're the ones started it. It was genetically engineered, Ebola and AIDS, and God knows what other things have been force-fed on people. But they'd much rather just flip me off and call me nuts or call me names. Or I had somebody on Google Plus saw one of my videos and made some kept making the remarks to me back on my notification. Oh, you're not a Windsor. And I won't go on with what he said. I thought, yeah, I am a Windsor. I was kidnapped, but you know what? Windsor's, he was implying, I guess, because I don't, um, I don't have someone doing my speeches or writing. I'm lucky to live and be able to breathe from moment to moment. While this woman poses as heir to the British crown, and she's giving it away, and it's not hers to give away even. I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and I've put this on other tapes. I'm the legal heir of Victoria II, and I wanted to go back to this, so, and what's happening to me right at the moment. It's like, let me say this, it's like going to the law enforcement, and if they're involved in the whole thing, you go to the FBI and they're involved in it. Let me say this: they get things on people, and everybody has something to hide. So you don't have to be compromised. I understand that they can lock a kid up or let it go if you do what they ask, or if the cops decide not to do as asked, they'll put the cops under investigation. And right now, I don't know. The FBI are the ones, and I don't know what's going to happen to me. They're the ones that have committed the mind control murders that I've spoken of. The Virginia Tech, 33, back in April, and this is going to go off, and I didn't get it down. The Morgan Harrington, I don't know if that's her today or not, Hannah Graham. There's a whole list of them going way, way back. It's invisible, so how would you know? But I'm going to say this. In here it says that it's writing about me, the children's name I have to use, and it says I have no money or assets, but I have courage, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, in a lot of the articles it said I was a pauper candidate, which I was, because it kept me that way. They kidnapped me, and the crimes against me, if I could sue, would make me probably the most wealthiest woman in the world. Believe me. But the thing is, I've never asked, I've spent my money to tell the truth when people would listen. They've treated me like dirt. I do want my money back, and Elizabeth has, and Stowe. I want her punished, just like I would like justice for the people that did this to me when they kidnapped me. Her dad and the New World Order, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Joe Kennedy. I could go on, and of course a lot of them are dead, but it's still happening to me. And right at the moment, I'm allergic to chemicals, and I have a disorder, immune disorder, and that's exactly what it is. If I smell certain chemicals, and it has to be real heavy and put there. I can go most places and should and be okay. So I've been soaked in them deliberately. I even gave Carl Barton, he's a retired state trooper, I even told what his wife, Linda, told me back in '09. She said, this is how we run you with chemicals, make you move. Well, it tears my body down, besides my liver, my kidneys, you name it, lungs. I mean, it's been like soaking me. And it's unreal what they've done, and they're still doing it. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm at the stay at Inn here in Troutville. And I've been here 2.5 months, and there's no need going into it. They get